Hello, I am the gaming superhero, and today we are making the big man on campus himself, the legally elected leader of the most crime-ridden city in fiction. Maybe real life as well, but I'm not looking that up for that statistic. The true arch enemy of Daredevil, that Spider-Man fans insist is his villain because they are deathly allergic to anyone else having cool shit for some reason. This is gonna be a fun one. Remember, 100 subscribers and I make a Discord where you too can join me in shitting on Spider-Man. Wilson Fisk, aka the Kingpin, first appeared in The Amazing Spider-Man number 50, and if that doesn't ring a bell, it's the fucking Spider-Man No More book. Yeah, that one, with this image that all Spider media is forced to replicate. This is Kingpin's first appearance. Holy shit. So let's see the first of many stories where Spider-Man quits like a bitch. We open with Spider-Man fighting off some generic thugs, after which the couple he saved is torn between celebrating or fearing him. So he swings, thinking about how the Fantastic Four are celebrated. Daredevil is the coolest, and Captain America is sexy. I don't know why that was one of his top 3 heroes and why people love them, but okay. He arrives home to Harry, who tells him Aunt May is ill, so he rushes off on his motorcycle to arrive to a passed-out May. He then reflects on how he wasn't Spider-Man. He would have been at home to receive the call sooner and help May, because there's no way he would have had a healthy social life being a loser and all, so he definitely would have been home. To arrive to a bedridden May a little earlier, I guess. Gonna be honest, I can't really follow his logic here, but moving forward, he lists a bunch of other things he had to give up due to being Spider-Man. Things he would give his eye teeth for. The secret Spider-Man power you never knew. He has teeth in his eyelids now, apparently. How horrifying. He then turns on the TV to find Jameson really tearing into him. And this is apparently the straw that broke the camel's back. Hearing Jonah offer $1,000 to anyone who takes down Spider-Man. He then immediately walks out of the apartment and does the thing. There it is, the panel that has been remade so many times. Anyway, we're supposed to be talking about Kingpin, so I'm gonna speed along a bit. Some kid brings Jameson the spider suit and he's elated, going on talk shows and showing the world Spider-Man quit. At which point we finally see the man of the hour, who sees the news on TV and takes the opportunity to put his plan into motion, which is just to tell all the mobs that he is the captain now, and most of them are oddly supportive of this takeover. They just agree to report to him. So with the easiest takeover I think I've seen, some guy named Foswell, who was disguised as a homeless person, I think, who wants to take over instead. Also, Peter quits the Bugle, tipping Foswell off that he and Spider-Man are one and the same. First day not being Spider-Man, and he immediately blows his secret identity. Crime skyrockets because, of course, all those heroes Spider-Man listed in the beginning don't actually exist or have any effect on crime. Feels most insulting for Daredevil. We then learn the Kingpin master plan is to run the underworld like a business. Don't ask me what that means, I don't know. We see Peter's life is now perfect. It only cost a few dozen human lives. But who cares, he solved all his first world problems, and that is what matters. Anyway, on his way home, he passes by a man being attacked by crooks, at which point he leaps into action, saving the man, and having an internal struggle on how he is backsliding on his pledge to not be a superhero. At which point he remembers Uncle Ben and why he became Spider-Man.
With great power comes...
Great responsibility?
I was going to stick with bitches, but if you want to be a virgin for the rest of your life...
We get a full recap of his origin, which I will save you the recap of. He swears to never quit again. On Gwen Stacy's life, he won't. Kingpin and Foswell meet, and it goes as well as you expect. Peter then steals his suit back and tells JJ he's been out recruiting and that he was going to fill the streets with Spider-Man. 'Cause he's psychic, I guess. That's where the issue ends. Dear God, that is by far the longest recap of a first appearance yet. I felt it was worth it because of how famous the issue is, even if Kingpin's contribution is pretty minimal. But let's get to the good shit already. I have made him a tank with a melee primary, which is 4 in a row, and I am sick of it. Honestly glad the next few will be ranged. I need a break. Why did no one tell me he has a fucking laser cane? His passive is political bribe. He counts as 2 characters when capping or contesting points. And I came up with this idea weeks ago, before Overwatch gave Mauga this exact thing as a perk. I came up with it first. I need that to be known. The moment I saw that was a Mauga perk, I immediately knew that people would think I stole it. I didn't. They hacked into my Google Doc and stole it from me, I swear. Ability 1, put a hit out. Not my best ability name, I admit. Select up to 3 enemies to mark them, reducing the amount of healing they receive and giving any ally that kills them bonus health. This is the basis for the rest of Kingpin's kit and is going to get a little crazy for anyone marked. Also, if you have a better name for this ability, leave it in the comments. I will highlight the best ones. Ability 2, Untouchable. Take reduced damage from all sources except marked targets, in which you take no damage whatsoever for a few seconds, greatly increasing his tanking ability, depending on who he decides to mark and if he utilizes all 3 of the marks. Honestly, I think this might be the most effective tanking ability if utilized in its full potential, given half the team can't harm you at all and the other half does less damage. But it is obviously still important who you choose. Mostly choosing Duelist is probably the best call, but still. Ability 3, Cement Shoes. All marked enemies become immobile for a period of time. Much simpler, but also very effective. This also drags flying heroes down to the ground, and any high mobility hero, like Spider-Man, zooming over the hole in the map. At which point he will drop to his death. The ultimate is Paid Protection. Immediately deals massive damage to marked targets and deals damage to any enemies that deal damage to Kingpin. Will also receive the massive damage. So if an enemy damages Kingpin during his ult, they will get shot by an off-screen sniper. As far as how much damage specifically, I am unsure, and it really doesn't matter given it would be changed all the time through patches. The only real counter would be not to attack Kingpin while the ult is active, even though Kingpin still takes full damage while the ult is active, and you would just need to be, certain you could kill him within a few shots. There is no team up because, again, I can't see a lot of characters working with him, and it's also trouble with the lack of villains in the game, so I don't know how focused on character allegiance they are when it comes to team ups, so I would change things. I'm just not sure where to fall on that. Anyway, that is how I would add the Kingpin of Crime to Marvel Rivals. Very happy with how this came out. The feeling of controlling the battlefield through more than just brute force, almost like a backline tank. I don't think this kit is quite that level, but it is very similar. For him to be a full backline, he would need to be able to give allies damage reduction instead of him getting most of it. But he definitely wouldn't be a frontline tank. Somewhere in the middle, prioritizing targets and demanding space from anyone who is marked, which was a focus I wanted. I want people who are marked to be especially scared of Kingpin, like in media, where having the Kingpin focus is a terrifying prospect. A lot of the tanks in the game currently don't really demand space in this game. A lot of them currently just act like beefier duelists. I want to avoid doing this to make a true tank. Remember, 100 subscribers and I make a Discord to facilitate more in-depth discussion of Marvel Rivals, and come back Wednesday to see my top 5 skins I would give Kingpin. I've done this for every concept video I've done, but I don't think I've directly mentioned it in a video. And you're welcome for letting you keep your knee